What's up everybody, this is Wally the Robot here, and today we are playing Thresh in the bot lane. This is just a regular PvP game, but I'm using this video as practice for just giving my thought process on what I'm trying to do and accomplish in the game. It's a little difficult considering how fast paced it is, but I'll do the best I can. I'm going to go ahead and say that I kind of do a blunder move, but we capitalize on that blunder. Essentially, I wanted to ward the bush. I typically do if I'm playing support, but MF does, so I don't want to waste a ward on that. And this becomes a free kill on Nyla too because she pressed up, and we get MF in first blood. Basically, I'm looking for hooks. I'm not necessarily trying to dive in and get kills, at least not in the early game. Maybe when I get my ult and or when I get my first item. It depends on which one comes first, depending on how well we do in lane. And of course, if we're not counterpicked, essentially Zyra counterpicked Thresh is annoying to deal with like 100% of the time, because all you have to do if you're playing against a Thresh is pick Zyra. And every time Thresh wants to throw a hook, you just throw your Q on top of Thresh, and it automatically hooks the plant. So there's no there's no counter for Thresh on that. Here you see Nyla's trying to pressure MF. It doesn't go well. I just want to make sure MF gets a kill, and I'm not afraid to die here. So that's why I was pressing so hard. And I'm glad MF was able to capitalize on that. And now my goal is to essentially set up a hook, make them think I back. I am low health obviously, but now I sit in bush and wait just in case they do decide to push up and they think it's just MF, which is what happens with Nyla. And this doesn't become a kill, but it was almost a kill. And I throw my lantern on top of myself and I stay in the lantern bubble. That way my shield will last a little bit longer. The other way to get your shield is you walk out of range before an ally champ picks up the lantern, or your ally picks the lantern up for you. Just keep in mind, if your ally does pick up your lantern, your shield does not last as long, so if you're taking damage, it will fade away. But if you have your lantern sitting on the ground and you throw it on top of yourself, you give yourself a whole lot more sustainability. So now the plan is to find a way to get the Nyla and the MF, or not MF, Lux. Unfortunately I got stunned there. I thought about throwing the hook, but I knew wind up time, it would not have landed, and I didn't want to put my ability on cooldown with that. So right here, I wanted to throw the Zen into the MF ult, but that didn't work in my favor. Didn't realize Zen was level 6, so kind of ended up dying there. But it is what it is. So now that I know Zen is super OP early game, and he's super strong late game, I'm trying to think of ways to mitigate that. And the only solution I was able to come up with was stay at a distance and throw the hooks. Do not dive in, okay? And what I mean by that is, once you cast your hook, you can also go into press your Q again, or your first ability if you're just only playing Wild Rift, and then you'll dive to them. Here, just like that, that's fine. I know I'm safe. It's also because I was planned on using my E again when it came off cooldown, but I'm still working on my timings on that. So, and it was also just in case if Nyla decided to flash away, because her flash is up. So now we go for a free reset. The wave's going to crash into our tower, and then we're going to be able to push. Unfortunately, that I forgot the name of it, the blue orbs that reveal enemies and wards, that picked up the ward unfortunately, but that's okay. I just wanted a vision in case Lux wanted to hide there, but since we got back pretty fast, there's no need. We knew where she was at the minimap by the time we got there. Another key thing with Thresh is to pick up souls. And here you can do a flash play. I landed the hook, and this should be a kill on the Lux and the Nyla. And don't be afraid to flash into the enemies. The reason being is because your play is really strong. And MF is able to pick up on that too, which is good. If they didn't pick up on it, it's not your fault, but you have to also understand kind of how your ADC plays. And I know that this MF of mine is pretty aggressive. She knows when to go in, she knows when not to go in. So I took advantage of that. If your ADC is passive and not passive, if your ADC is aggressive and you are playing support and you are playing passive, you're putting them behind. I'm just gonna let you know that now. Now, in some cases, the ADCs just don't. And here, I'm going to die. I really just wanted to make sure Vi gets away and she doesn't die. I don't mind dying for my allies. And people need to understand that when you're playing support, your goal is not to get kills. Your goal is to get assists and make sure your ADC and your allies, such as your mid, jungle, and top, stay alive. And that's the end goal. If they stay alive, you did your job. But unfortunately, I did die. I did get stunned, and I took too much damage from the Xin Zhao. And I wasn't sure if his ult was up either. Wasn't paying attention to that. Right here, I take some damage. Nyla played me, but she played herself walking into the MF ult. I mean, that was actually a really good timing. I think that was just luck at that point. I don't think any of that was planned. I just wanted to, pressure the Nyla. And here, I don't know if you saw that, but the Xin Zhao tried to dive into the MF, and again I died, but the MF stayed alive, and I was able to hook the Xin Zhao from diving MF, which is what I wanted. Now, unfortunately, she dies here, but I think the Bang picks up the kill. Yeah, I don't know if she gets Lux or not. So my goal is to make sure my ADC stays alive, and if I die in the process, I die. But if my ADC goes back in and kills herself, that's not on me. That's not on you either. So I noticed that this is Seraphine up there, but I'm not going to pay that any kind of mind. I really wanted the dragon, but if I can keep him off, that's fine. And I try not to put myself in a bad spot. I kind of dragged the Lux out of it, and I tried to steal the drag, but unfortunately I failed. I think MF may have ulted a little too early on that too, to be honest, but it is what it is. She was also trying to pick up that kill more than anything, because at the end of the day, getting kills grants gold, and if you have gold, you can buy items. But yeah. So the plan now is, I noticed that we lost mid turret. I want to push bot turret. I see MF, and we take a free kill on this Nyla. She wasn't paying attention. She never ever face check a bush, especially if you know that the ADC and the the support are alive. It's better if she would have walked into the dragon pit and used the brush for cover to ward. And you can also, with the ward placement, I know for bot lane, it's a little harder to do now, but on the old maps, if you throw your ward over the ledge of the wall, you can throw it into, the game will force it into the river bush. And that's actually really, really key and safe to do so. I think you can do the same with Dragon at Tri-Bush. You don't have to necessarily be in the bush, but you can be close enough to where you can essentially get, throw the ward in the bush. Now here, I missed all my hooks. I'm upset about that, but it's okay. I was able to get some good damage off, and Vayne came in and picked up the kill. I wanted to go save the Vayne, but my lantern's off. Thought it was a Vayne. I guess it was Vi. No, Vayne died, that's why. I do die here again. I missed the hook. I tried to save my ADC and I failed. And yeah. But the goal is for me to try and save the ADC. I'm not worried if I die. Get the damage that I can get in, and then if they're able to pick up after that, perfect. If not, then it is what it is. If Vi picks up some, I think both of them, if I'm not mistaken. No, she doesn't. Oh. Which is okay. But because of that, we're able to generate a little bit of pressure in the bot lane. And I think here is when we start picking up the tempo with what we're trying to accomplish in the bot lane. We are able to take this turret, and then we try to go for some counterplay mid lane. Let's see. What I'm looking for is where Zen's at in this situation. If I can find where Zen is, I will be okay. From what I'm guessing is Zen's coming down, yep, here, and then I want to back off with MF. I also want to cut through jungle, but I see Nyla and Zen going mid lane to fight, and I want to come in behind them. And the reason why I want to come in from behind is because they'll see me on the left side of blue buff, but not from behind as quickly, if you know what I mean. And as you see, I didn't go in, but Zenzel bullied me and I died. It is what it is. But with him ulting like that, it kind of pushed me away. My hook was still on cooldown, and if anything, I would have tried to hook over the wall into Seraphine, and then press Q again to get away from Zen. I don't want to be up close and personal with Zen. He will smoke check me every time. Well, until late game. It'll be harder for him to do that. But at the current moment, I don't want to ever engage with the Zenzel. So essentially here, I want to set up for drag. I want vision. I want to know where the enemy's at. And this is a good example. I want to play Zen away from my ADC. I'll throw another hook and miss because at this point he was on top of me. It's a 50-50. And the more hooks I land, the better chances of my team coming back are. And that's just how viable Thresh is. I mean, I love playing Thresh. He's a lot of fun. He's not a basic champ because you have to think about what you're trying to do and how you're going to do it. Right now, I don't know if I'm still fast enough. Like, I know if I was on PC playing League of Legends and I land a hook, there's been times where I would flay mid-hook into another enemy champion and end up helping the team out with that. But with this game, I'm not as fast. I'm pretty slow, and I don't like it. So I gotta work on my skill and get better so I can be more useful instead of dying 6 times. Or is that 8? 6. I'm going blind. Don't mind me. But with this, I wanted to push the wave. The wave got too big. I know if the wave crashed into the turret, it would not have been very good. Right there, you saw me stutter because I was indecisive of what I wanted it to do. And again, I flash away from the Zen because, again, I don't want to deal with the Zen. And somehow I managed to pick up a double kill, which good on me, but I don't need the kills. I'm the one that needs assists. I missed the hook here, but I flay him away into the wall, so he didn't have a way to keep running, considering he just used both his dashes. So with that, you want to make sure if you see a Renekton dash or anyone dash, you kind of want to take the advantage away from them. You don't want to give them any kind of walking space. You kind of want to throw them through the wall, kind of like a Gnar. Unfortunately, Gnar is not in the Wild Rift, otherwise I'd be playing him too. I love Gnar. But you just want to take that advantage away, and that's what I look at doing. A few of us go for a reset, the other ones go for getting Lux. I typically don't like being in the T-Hex mech, regardless of what position I'm playing, because usually I try to make myself viable and useful. I kind of get caught out with this. Didn't realize the tail swipe is got a long cooldown. I didn't get the chance to push turret, and the reason being is because I know Xin Zhao would just completely destroy me. So, and unfortunately I didn't throw the Q on top of myself, otherwise I would have. But I was able to get some good damage and get Xin Zhao to flash, which is ideal. Here I want to keep, I'm sorry about the background noise, I can't control other people. We have hollow walls where I live at. With that, I want to hook the Thresh, or not Thresh, the Renekton, and flay him away from the turret, because I trusted Vayne and her damage. I will say Seraphine did a great job in holding. She was really hard to get to, considering her stun, her ult, and then her massive big bubble. I'm going to tag it with a bunch of stars. I mean, she was strong. She played well. She played smart. A lot of enemies and allies don't do that. They don't play smart. They just be like, you died 8 times, you died 10 times, you're bad, you need to uninstall this, that, and the other. Well, screw them. One game is not enough to determine some player's skill level, okay? And, I mean, here also, you see, I don't recall immediately. I'll wait for MF to recall. The reason being is because they could have pressed at any time, and I needed to make sure if she does get, let's say, Seraphine ulted, I can throw my lantern onto the MF, and I would, at that point, be able to get her to lantern back to me and to safety. Here, I'm doing the same thing. I throw my lantern too far, but it still accomplished the same goal, make sure that the Vayne stays alive, and I was trying to cancel my hooks, so you see me waste 2 hooks. I do go for my item, and then I'll go back to lane, and at this point my goal is to get a bramble, get into Thornmail, because I know it is not going to be easy taking bot turret, especially when you got Seraphine and Lux defending. It is the most annoying thing to go against, I promise. I know Renekton is top lane, and I've made sure to ping that so my allies knew. That's another thing, you want to have map awareness. That helps out a ton. That's also how you're able to make plays, and I'm guilty of not always watching the map, but when I do, especially when I don't have anyone in front of me, or if I'm not farming waves, I'm watching the map. Here, I think it's me and Vi. Yeah, I see the Lux. What I want to do here is I want to see if the Lux is going to pop up, and she does. So it's a free hook, kind of like earlier with the Nyla. She flash, I hook, she stuns, snares me, and I kill her. It's simple stuff like that. Take advantage when you can take the advantage. If you can get a kill, you can get a kill. Just take it. You don't need to worry about giving your solo kill to someone else and being, why didn't you take the kill, or why did you KS me on that? It doesn't matter. You're a support. You just want to make sure that you're being useful and beneficial to the team. So now with Lux dead, Renekton's he's dead. The ones we have to watch out for is Xin Zhao and Seraphine. Now there's not that much of a concern. I'm trying to find an angle to throw a hook, and I miss. No, I get shielded. That's what it was. I get shielded from the Seraphine, I wanted to get some damage on the minions. That way we can push a little faster, but we don't have a wave. If the minions push too far out, then we would lose our pressure that we have on the turret. And I kind of panicked there. I noticed that the Vi went in too deep, so I tried to lantern her out, but she was able to escape just fine. And then she, I think she goes down, yeah. And right here, I tried to pick up as many kills as I could, considering we still had Elder Dragon, so I took advantage of the buff. They were low. And unfortunately, if I didn't miss my hooks, I think we would have been able to end right here, but that's not the case. We still got 5 minutes to go. I know it's a long time. And I actually played that pretty poorly because I was trying to get to the back line to keep them out, but really I should have just hooked the Zen. So that way, in that scenario, I know in future reference, take away their damage dealer and let the ally either A, return the damage while he's still under CC, or let them escape. But, you know, it's a mistake, and I can always correct it, especially in future games. So, now we try to press for Baron, but in my honest opinion, I don't like this. I don't like this call on Baron. The reason being is because their whole team is alive. Well, aside from now, Zinzao is strong. We don't want to fight a Zinzao at Baron Pit, especially when you have Lux Snare. I'm pretty sure Seraphine's ult's up. I know Seraphine's defending, but on the off chance she were to show up, that would have been not good, because that situation of our Vi almost dying, we don't want that at Baron Pit. So try to take as much damage as possible. I do flash out. I don't think I die here. I'm just poking him down essentially. And the Seraphine thinks she can pop off, but I'm gonna tell you right now she really can't. And then Lux is just ult spamming. I don't know why she's doing that. Well, I guess she went for Olaf and missed. I wasn't paying attention to the map. At that time, I was just quite literally looking at, Lux ult. The Renekton tries to get a kill on me, but he fails. And now is when I pull the Zen, and I'm able to stop him from going in on Olaf. If we lost Olaf, we would have lost the game for sure. Pretty sure they would have just pushed hard down mid lane, and that would have been that. I know I'm low health. I'm not sure what Olaf was trying to do. I think he was trying to look for a pick. But with I lost my train of thought. I'm sorry. But I do end up dying here. A little unfortunate. I wasn't paying attention to Lux. I think it was Lux that got the kill on me. The Arcane Comet. But one more push, and if I'm not mistaken, we do win. This video is a little old, but I can't remember everything that went on in a 25-minute video. That's almost impossible. But we do push for Elder, which is a good call, considering that their Zinzao is dead. And then by the time he comes back to life, I think we take Baron as well. You want to take advantage of the fact that the enemy jungler's down, so they can't outsmite your jungler, essentially. The only way that will happen is if they were to focus the jungler and take the jungler out immediately, but they don't end up doing that. So this ends up becoming the free Baron. I hesitate here because I don't know if they're going to be pressing up to and trying to take Baron. So there's Nyla. I was wondering if she, well, not wondering. I was actually kind of hoping she would keep pressing up so it would be a free kill for us, but that didn't happen. So now the goal is to keep pressing mid lane. Oh, hey Nyla, how you doing? She's not gonna live this, by the way. I saw her kill her. Thanks to Elder Dragon. Here I'm looking to kind of fight. I know with the TX mech, if I can sustain and do damage long enough, that's fine. And this is the end of the game, by the way. But again, flash play is a really good tactic for Thresh. I would highly suggest you implement it. Just only implement it if your team is aggressive. That's really it. But let me know in the comments down below what I need to improve on. If I talk too much or not enough, let me know. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. The next one, I'm going to make a Melio mid bid.